much ngamra wo seniatale bakifang. But there is something yemen for which I want to pick up on. Yasa teleko bring itamata kutake. Itara in Europe. I think you mentioned something like yes, people do kolege. I know, this was Bribes University, University. So I just wanted to ask you, come yafinyame Gambia bula itara Sierra Leone, from Sierra Leone itara Europe. Ngalen me come funding ke yebo Africa, yeta Europe, ibe from bulije. It's not easy. What were some of the struggles that you had to deal with? Ye bata ninkole akul mentaki faja nibelo le sintan ninfulola. Kamuru karang kang watermen even in Europe.
It was tough because Berin dog for Sweden at that time in the late 90s. Niman kato soro ite live in Sweden. Ite doko kenora because they have a Swedish language. They had a very, very rigorous, very organized welfare system. Me along ko niman kato soro ite na system mo kono. The system mo me ko ite doko kenola. It is an old school. Ite fen kenola. So the first challenge was kato soro. And there are two ways in which kato soro no, or three ways. One is ye adopt ye fenang, or ye muso tuba muso nyine futu ye kaito dila. So at that time all we were doing is ka make soko nga kaito soto. Then we did that nga kaito soto, bring nga kaito soto. Then I decided to go to England for 1 year. It was in 97. Now England was tough because England do call benunje. Then I did all sorts of jobs in England. I jobbed at the warehouse. Corey's warehouse, Mealonko, it's at night, picking and packing, okay, England le, just to make sure we survive and send money back home. We also worked at Bonapark, and Karisa le Park Nunje, Karisa le Dada Nunje. We did that job. I worked as a kitchen porter in restaurants. Ika bolo kule for samanda. Ika kuya, kamere paretale, nintrol bale nanang kotenge, ika kule for samanda. I also did cleaning job. Bolong so dul bije tule ngat clean job flaleke the key job chabo katare bulle offices ikawri somanda 4 o'clock yeta office lele cleaning ke ni bota je yeta another place for cleaning ke in these malls at that time Halikuenoto. That was a big shop there, John Lewis ntoleka je clean no. So we did all that job. So ngo do 1 year bring back 1 year in England. It wasn't easy. I went back to Sweden again. So when I went back to Sweden, then come to school. Then I went to school, have some papers. Then I applied for a security job at that time, Falkland. So until I could pick airport, then could pick airport. We take it to the depot in central Stockholm. After because at that time robbery theaters, I left that job. Then I went for alarm. It took a alarm. Olomundi ning alarm motor and tole carros with the car. It was tough though, like every other migrant life, but we did all that jobs, to survive, send money back home. But at some point I debated with myself, ning funding kaya banko balera tuwagdo. Kufula le si samba noje. Isi kufula le nyini noje mi along kasi na fela banko kan. Wale londo nyini, wale na fulo nyini. If you have a drunk, ati na fala dawanto, amana yela banko kan, yela banko na fala. Sa ntenga calculate, nko nintenga na fulo nyini nga samba Gambia. All you can do is to invest in business. O business on profit on ata, abeni la dimba don na fala. Bari business of ana mallo because ngam mo demal ñu na friends so business of commencé Gambia, business of ka boy Cameroon to abdu ko tenk. Ngam mo nga londo mu kulti mi alongo mo bukata ñaano bul. Ita fal ka na londo tiñale. Hani ka fay tena ba mo bukata no bul. Wala nanti I decided to take my money ngam do ko Sweden instead of now coming to do business in Gambia. Ntengo invest na education oto. Because container ma scholarship sort na life kono. Na masters, yes, it was free in Sweden, but the opportunity cost of going to school was ita do ko kenola. It means you lost money from working. In the hours you are supposed to work to make money, you are going to university. So it means I wasn't making money, even though university was free. But not bachelor's was free. But not masters and the money I saved is what I paid to do my masters, and not PG for all 4 years of my PG until I bejo. I never had a scholarship. So as from me working part-time and paying. Well, I always I can't finance department at university nibe nyo sabala. Legi payment plan dinna nga default because sometimes you expect money to come kurobukana. So that's how I struggled until I got my PhD. But it was tough, like anybody else. Funding kejama like I feel in Europe, obviously. Ngala bosol kanole, ngala silol kane, we did all sorts of things. But we were young. When I was going to Sweden, I was 18 years old, going to 19 years old. So with no experience, and you want to work and send back home, ni maki ning karo fara, they will not eat. So you have to do everything possible. Yeah, make sure you work hard no matter what. For boli kolombang for hani karton fanga dunile otomo Royal Post in the UK ngadu ke del moto troko lotan to leka leberes ya ken ka kotongol jindi ka kartongol selene ngawo bekele. But later I realized, okay, for how long will I do this?
Yeah.
At that time, Pananga Kotokil Mialonko, they were in their 50s, in 60s in Sweden, Mialonko. Some of them had masters. Hanisa ebe boss driver yala. Hanisa warehouse dokola. I don't want to end up like this. I want to go back home. I want to live in dignity in my country and contribute meaningfully to my country. And I was following a lot of Swedish politics at that time. And I saw the people who made decisions in Swedish politics, the ministers, the debates that were. I want to go back. I want to be part of the people who make these debates, who lead the debate in my country. I want to be part of the politicians who shape. I want to be part of the history. Then I decided to go to school, and I prepared myself. This work that I'm in, I don't find it difficult. In fact, it's the easiest job I'm doing. In fact, I don't even see it as a job. I see it as a hobby. Every day I look forward to the next day. I feel sad because I love the job, because I'm enjoying it, because I'm doing something which I believe is moving the country forward. Now, there are challenges, of course. Some will ridicule you, some will criticize you, some will insult, but it comes with the job. It's part of it. Once you start to do a particular type of job, there are what they call occupational hazard of that job. Every occupation has a hazard. If you decide to be a farmer in the farms, there's a hazard to that. Exactly. So niman la fi moli neng ye kajafi, they criticize you, they question you, they question your integrity, then leave this job, go and be a farmer or any moment affairs moti nyininkala moti dankula, because you are not having public office. But once you decide you want to have public office, you want to work for the public the time with sign. Now, sometimes you can react in a manner in which it's not desirable, but we are all human beings. Sometimes they question your integrity, they question your action, they question your policy. Sometimes you react, but we are all human. But you go back and say, you know what? I'm doing this for the people. The car that is driving me, the security guarding me, the office is the people's money. You are working for the people. So they should question you. So I've always been ready for this job. The books I've read, the radio programs I've listened to, the TV programs I've listened to all my life has to do with politics and public office and how to deal with it. So I don't know whether it's by nature or by destiny, but always that's what I've been. I find it not very difficult, and that's it.
Doc, I know we are gonna move on, but I just wanna because mo jamal le ka Bitilo la mo meni alonko ibe bantala banko lukang tumando bato, given that ite yen sim falta la balu kono, maybe ding yamaro bote la karola wara ya balu nyamen niyo yitandi mola modo se karano jele. How la fake nyininga menna, you know, mune keta mune sita ye muneje inin jumala kachata me ye nyori kaje ko yaje ko jande purna sinin sama kambala fonse karamuda. You know, was there a particular moment that sparked that drive in you? What if any mole kacha sodobang?
I woke up in the morning and it hit me. And that's the funny thing. That's what I find funny. I never ever thought Form 5 was enough. That's what I was telling. Because if you look at that time in Sweden, nobody around me was going to school. Not the elders, not my age group. Nobody was going to university. In fact, when I was going to the university, were only 2 Gambians, including one lady called Uminjai, but at least she was born in Sweden. So nobody in my circle was going to university. Nobody. And nobody was even, so it wasn't there. The motivation wasn't there. The role model wasn't there. And for me, at that time, all we are doing at that time, when Sweden was starting, ngakodo dajale ning sango banda ngana semester ala Gambia. Semester kadianum bake. ni nata wong semester patika sta num Brussels le mbeka be num Brussels because mbeka flata Brussels so America malangol ngaben jele jaman malangol angale malong andulo Scandinavia ban kanyo su ni fara ban kanyo su de la because jaman malangol wolde de kalu ne ko nyim bata nyim malangol bata jaman la
e ka jaman malangol lo nyadi e ko lo nyadi
kanyo su e ka chawan la dum be rofring be funkularing itu ka funkulale angale malangol ka stran le wolin strano le kana so tolle ka hamga tol Swedish malangol ni ñowe ntolle ka fresh non tolle ka pare non kodo ka taran tolle la poso kono ntolle ka sera dima so me ka ño sudele so ngana semester la Gambia 1 month 2 months semester ba ngasi kote ngada jele kote ngana one day with someone that hit me konte this life for how long will I do this then it hit me to have to go to school then you know what, nah, I'm not interested, but something was always pushing me for some reason. I don't know what that was. So it's not like Mole and Diamontan, no. Then I decided to go. I don't know what motivated me, because yes, that time club we are going to club Katara club for 5-6 somanda. Nimbol theater, and I go home. I sleep 1 hour at university. And in fact, in my circle, nobody knew I was going to university at that time. While I'm bringing theater and master sort and people somewhere even questioning me. Oh no, it's fake. People, because they didn't know I was in the university, nobody knew, because I thought that was personal. So yeah, that was it. But coming for long ko nibe funding kala to babudu at a young age, ila life plan for now follow because every day you have to come back home and contribute to your society. Then no Saturday mi along ko isi bunya sort of jang isi ko kada mi along kasi bangko na fa to abudu man easy nak until we all went through very, very, very difficult times in Europe. But if I'm plan, okay, this is what I want to do. You work towards it, like I did. You know what? And every day I want to go back home to Gambia. I want to contribute to the development of my country. But the tool I need to do that is Londo. And I went for it. I invested a lot. Every money I've made, I did not do anything with it. I made sure I paid towards my education. Because I'm not a distinction student. So Muka scholarship sort. I'm a B student, and B students in Muka scholarship sort. So when I apply for scholarship, Ibuka didn't. But then I'm a hardworking student. I know that I have to work hard to achieve things in life. But hard work pays at the end of the day, because if you want to achieve something, you have to work hard. And if you work hard, you cannot achieve anything. And I think tell us stories about hard work. Okay, I want to reach at a particular level in my life. And to achieve it, I have to work, I have to do sacrifices, one. Because what is that sacrifice? When I settled in Sweden, I had a Swedish passport, I had a very beautiful apartment, I had a very nice car. And those in Sweden that are listening, they know what I'm saying. I have a very nice car, a very nice apartment. I was very popular in Sweden, very, very popular in Sweden. I was president of this Swedish Gambia Association in Sweden. I was organizing all the football games. I was organizing African tournaments. I was one of the leaders in that society. But now leaving all that to go and live in a very small room in Scotland, sometimes ni aka hitting fale nkanko jisumi alla because aka produce you understand. And sometimes I was struggling to buy a bus pass to go to university in Katamale 45 minutes kana because I couldn't afford a bus pass because I was saving money towards the fees. I wouldn't eat the whole day because every day I go to university. We have an office. We have this master's offices me along konkasi to study. I go and eat for 9 suto. I don't eat when I come home. I try to eat oats. So all these are sacrifices, man. So sometimes you have to leave something to come down a bit, and then you can elevate. So the more sacrifice to leave that comfort in Sweden. Today I would still be in comfort in Sweden, but not the level I am today. Being a state minister is a big feat. It's not a small feat. Not many Gambians in their lifetime can have that opportunity to be a state minister. So, but I had to sacrifice something to reach this stage. And that sacrifice was, I left that comfort. It was good comfort. You get salary every month, you make money, you send money back home. Then you come for semester, but for how long will I do that? I had to live that life, to go back to zero and start from fresh, to make sure that I now elevate myself by educating myself. And I think that's something I never regret.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ismaila Ceesay. Nyaja lafta nung, ngalo woto nung domanding, kome yafa nyameng, waru dolbeje, akasone ya molu bulle, ye nyine fangola, ni nata tubaburu, ya dadi ka kudo koke, ka kudo sura dorong, ite kafalo ko sila waka ya dangu janadi. But thank you very much indeed. Mbadingolu, Dr. Ismaila Ceesay, atare minister member maraling, kibaro ni chokinyo lokola, Gambia Banko kam, atol member moika radio to Gambia Banko kalbe moika Vibes FM le 106.1 FM. Dr. Laftale, nga jibe ke beri yewo karon ke yabang ko ya ni nyamenna inata Gambia Banko kan bari inata Gambia wato menna mu watle di melon ko mo jamal buka hani kana Gambia Banko kan sako mol men yalon ko be diaspora wato jambe be jang ngaje murtanan Gambia ya dati ka karandro ke University of the Gambia munatna yewo decision otanan kana with everything me alon ko be ke kan anu munatna fanan imanta do ko ke bladoro bari ya dati university la
beri nga karango bang, beri nga na masters bang 209. Ngkong sayang kasi Gambia la. I look, what am I going to do in Gambia? And Jammeh was in power. I didn't want to be close to government, per se. Okay, the best place for me is to go to the university. That's why the young people are, to groom them, to shape their mind, to share my knowledge with them. No more fun and regret. I don't know why I made that decision. Something just came to me to apply to university. I wasn't following at the university that much. So I just wrote casual. I just wrote a letter, attached my CV, and sent it to Gambia. Then they wrote back to say there's a place available for me at the Department of Political Science. Then told most about it. I came to find two people there, Fred Ozo and then Dr. Sajatal. So I came to join them. I remember my first day in class. The Mandembe Mbabayala. My first day at enter class. Then Siedmati was in that class. About 80-something students in that class. When I saw the crowd, I panicked. But then I kept my cool, I composed myself, and I started talking, and then things started to flow. I realized that I was a good lecturer after that class because of the feedback I got from people like Sid. They emailed me that it was a good class. And then, that's how I came to the university. It was tough year for Nyame. Jammeh was in power. The political science department was monitored very closely. I was teaching a course called Contemporary Gambian Politics, where it was dangerous to teach that class at that time. In fact, some students dropped from my class, I remember, because of the resources I was sharing with the class. Some of these resources were considered to be seditious resources material at that time. In fact, there was a period when some NIAs were joining that class. One NIA, I remember one class, after the class, another Konyoko, I'm from the NIA, but I enjoyed the class. But then again, nothing happened. At some point, I thought I was going to be arrested because of the things we discussed. I was organizing seminars, at UTG, denouncing Jammeh's regime. In those seminars, I was warned by university authorities, go take your time, but I don't know, I was young, I didn't have family. I mean, I was risking everything for that. But but then I enjoyed my time at the university. And then I was teaching a lot of courses, interacting with a lot of students. Because there is no institution in the Gambia, either public or private. There is not someone teach because of the classes I was teaching, and over the time, both at the master's and bachelor's level, at least every semester, 700 to 800 students teach. But the decision to come to the university is something Mealong was conscious. I don't want to work with government. I want to come to a place where I can work with young people. And I met some amazing young people. And today I'm proud of some of them. Mealong, they're out there doing very well, and you are one of them.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Abarakabake, comment Dr. Afenyameng Karamola no University of the Gambia for Sanji Jama. Doctor, ngaje even university itarje karanduro ke for Sanji Jama 2016 birim man sakunda falinda ngaje ko yada dike dadum kadiamu bankola kola ninkumu ka crossro ke kol tanyala warudol beje ise man sakunda doya ila kolu sambanya alanya banko nyaton ko ananyum fensifa ko wala fa ke nyininga menna mune natino because dol fanan ka foko ela dunga na university ninkumu ebe janne haynan kan wala mo politiko de sinin sama so if you can tell us mune ye wakilindi fo yadati ke dama man sakundala comme ka man sakunda criticize anila cool la programme la ni cool sambanya. If you can tell us that.
We have to look at the history. Berintolo University, nka political analysis. And as a political scientist, our job is to do analysis of the political situation, impartially and objectively. When we're at the university, we are doing it inside the university because there was no platform at that time. Because there was only GRTS, that was the only media house operating basically at that time, and they will not give it a platform because it was even dangerous to come out to to talk about how the government was running. The only platform we had was at the university, in the class, but also the seminars we did inside the university. Beriman Sakunda fell in 2016. In 2017, early 2017, I was one of the very few more Mialongo they recognized as having the authority to speak on political issues, to do political analysis. So a lot of journalists were getting in touch. Then there's space letter journalists all started media houses started flourish. People started to talk about issues. Then I was recognized at the university and I was being invited to platforms to talk about how I see things. But sometimes how you see things is based on information you have and what you see. And I was doing those analyses based on that. I never at that time in my thinking the analysis wasn't based on the fact we are planning to go to the presidency. Even though yes, we have to be honest, since I was in Sweden, I had always had the ambition to be part of government at some point, whatever role we're going to play there, because I believe that what I see in Europe is something I would like to replicate in Gambia. Now, who leads is not important for me. The most important thing is you are part of a team that can shape the destiny of your country. Now, who leads alalakao keje? Dolbije ya jinele fo ifate masoto. Dolbije nene manjini yasoto. So that is for a lot of, but the most important thing, as long as you're part of the team that can shape the destiny of your country, that alone is a pride. But when I was doing those analyses, it wasn't based on the fact I was trying to find my way up. No, I was doing the analysis at that time based on what I understood how the system was working, and that was the analysis I was doing. And to the best of my knowledge at that time, those were just analysis. They asked me questions. I say what I think. I speak my mind. So that's it.
Doctor, university karonke sanji jamba ni manyina sutiara sanji tanna bi ni sita ko ya fanyamen ye karandi jamalel beje men yalon ko tambite ni bulola dol beje bi ini wol mantara ko killing ini wol la ko jenya fatata bake so nim bi yela karandi kotoli je ibe challenge la ibe doctor criticize la media de ko fala ni manyina fo I think Gala Youth Movement, one of the founders, is a former student. And then some of the most vocal analysis, Gambia Banko kan Jamal Beje ila karandi wolel mul. Nimbi sita yewaje iko karanyadi.
About always normal, nothing karandi wola to be have a critical mind. Ite bo karan la fa kananda ka ke worship. For Plato le mang Aristotle karandi. After a man agree, after another kara biggest critic. So it's normal as long as ke kulu kono. Anim bunya kono wala kumada amma fo moy ko because ngi karande len te ngi karande I gave you the resources but me karande ka fo ko nyanta worship me karande ka fo ko nyanta ngam fo nyanda ko wala fo no so I'm proud ni en critique which means wona karang successful tale because nyata nan karang successful no bi ten critique no la it means karante le fo ya long fo fa na jero ke fo kan critique kan against I like that is good. But ninga ka kulo kono drong, no issues with that. Memo issue dron ni ake ni horomanta ya samba. Wale ka pol mani demanding. Bao asidoya nyanya ni moye karani hani tilikilin no. Inyanta ya mari bunya. Isa mari criticize no, isa challenge no on ideas nying. Bari ni ko be horomanta ya fela nanje. Foi ka bulala. Ika neng momi karande. Umela alfalati. Ito mari jono la. Hani mone kero mari jono la. So I'm proud of all of